So what are the key lessons that can be learned from the smart grid?
Well, I think over the last 10, 15 years, as the smart grid's evolved, we've seen certainly the importance of including citizens and end communities in the development of that. So both in terms of the capabilities and helping them understand what the technology can do. And I think that often leads to better outcomes for all involved and ultimately better savings. So I think as we look at new technologies coming through that are perhaps just starting to come, that's a key lesson coming forward. And I think the overlap between smart grid and smart city is also really interesting. Cities over the last 5 to 10 years have really started to try and embrace how connected infrastructure can help them improve their services, reduce costs, and improve the quality of life for citizens. And so again, they can look at what was seen in the smart grid as successful to enable that. I think creating an open ecosystem is going to be key. We're not really expecting any one supplier to solve the entire smart city solution, and instead I think success will be achieved by collaboration between all the stakeholders involved, so the technical providers, but also the communities, the cities themselves, and indeed the utilities to build structures that work.
It's quite interesting at that point on interoperability and avoiding vendor locking. Why is that very important for, especially at a community level and in this region as well?
Well, I think if you look at the way technology is procured in cities and in utilities, these are long-term investments, much longer than the consumer market. So actually, avoiding vendor lock-in is even more important for cities and grids than it is perhaps in other markets, because we're looking at assets that might be deployed for 10, 15, 20 years. And so, I don't think many people would claim they know what the landscape will look like at that point. So building in flexibility at the moment, so the ability to have open standards, using well-established global standards for things like security and interoperability is going to be key, so that the systems that are deployed today can actually evolve to solve the problems we encounter tomorrow.
Okay, and if you had to end on sort of some key takeaways or key lessons you want to point out for this sector, are there maybe 3 or 4 points you want them to remember and be aware of going forward?
Sure. Well, I think the role of cooperation, I think, was a trend that came through in both of the sessions today, and I think cooperation is really at all levels across the city and utility market. So better cooperation and sharing of information within cities, so they can understand what other departments are looking to do, what problems they're solving, inclusion with citizens and communities, and finding new ways to work with technology vendors as well, so they can be brought in, so they can help understand the problems and experiment, and then ultimately build solutions that can be scaled out and deliver at large scale.
Thank you.